Hello, welcome to my Advanced Placement United States History Survival Guide. Exited the tab accidentally. That's okay. My first tip is time management. You've probably heard it over and over again, but this is a pretty time-consuming class. The homework is going to be new to you. That's a given. And it's a lot to get used to. If you plan on taking other AP courses or you have a job, you should really start thinking about how you structure your day so that you can fit in the homework that you're going to have this year. For me personally, I started doing my homework in school, and that helped a lot with my motivation so that I got less distracted and I got my homework done a lot faster. So I had more free time throughout the day. My second tip is to manage your stress. I wasn't prepared for the stress. A lot of that can be accredited to my poor management of it, but I've learned from my mistakes and I share those solutions with you now in this fine Google slide presentation. First of all, take breaks. It's really important. One of the best things I did is to allow myself short 15 to 30-minute breaks in between my assignments. So whenever I finished, 2 paragraphs of my homework, I allowed myself to go on my phone for a little, and it helped a lot with my motivation, and it broke up the time so that I wasn't just doing homework for 4 hours straight. It was homework for an hour, break, homework, break, Secondly is having someone to talk to, especially, that's later. Over the course of the year, I vented to some friends who also had the class, and it helped ease a lot of my worries and stress most of the time. It was nice to know that I wasn't the only one having a hard time, and the conversations also boosted my mood when I needed it, which ended up being very often. While on the topic of friends, don't cheat. It's really stupid. I knew some kids who cheated, and it just didn't end well. They just didn't know what was going on. You might get a good grade on 1 or 2 assignments that you cheated on for the class, but then you're just going to be alone when you take the tests and then the exam, and it's not worth it. It's stupid. You're in a college level class, and it's not the college level thinking. Third, find enjoyment within the class, which I think is really important. It's a tough course, but it's not terrible. It's not the worst class you could possibly join. Have fun with the projects, be creative and make it your own so that you're able to enjoy the work that you're doing. Decorate your binder and notebooks so that the sense of dread that you feel when looking at them is just lightened a little. Throughout the year, we had some interesting and lighthearted lessons, and I can confidently say that I always had fun in class, even if it did not always sound like that. It's a decent balance of work and play already, but some people need to adjust that in order to stay sane, like I did. So I tried to make all my work as entertaining as I could for me, especially my projects. Number 4 is don't forget your binder when you need it. That's all. You'll get it eventually. But what do I do if we have apush online? Great question. This year it shifted and none of us knew. So in the event that you guys have remote learning, it's actually great because you get to prepare. We had a week to understand what was going on. You guys will have about 4 months, so you'll be fine. We all had a hard time adjusting. Luckily, Miss Nathan is superhuman. She was prepared kind of the week before schools closed, and almost everything was ready once online school officially started. after our week-long grace period. And I think her class was the smoothest to transition to online, as opposed to my other classes where maybe some teachers just didn't give work because they didn't know how the new system worked. I got a full pass for one of my classes because the teachers were confused, but that's not the deal with apush. It's everything's there. She has it under control. In the event that we are unable to return to school in the fall, don't worry. Just instead, mentally prepare yourself for the possibility that you can't be in the class for the fall semester. Here are a few things I wish I would have known before we switched this year. Again, talk to your friends. This is stolen from the stress management list, but it's true. Being alone while you're in school is the weirdest thing, which you already know, and it sucks. Despite how much you might love your family, it gets really annoying after about the first week. Make time to call your friends and anyone else you can't see but you want to be with. Texting is one thing, but calling them is another. Hearing their voices helps a lot. And it personally helped a lot to get me through every day. And it breaks up the days, so it's not all just monotonous and like routine. 2, be prepared for working online. Like I said, there's not as much of a learning curve. Everything is going to be there. You guys won't have, probably, I don't know. You guys will probably just be able to do things right out the gate. I can't speak for all your classes, but as for apush, you should be prepared for class calls and early due dates. Personally, I took the opportunity to sleep in whenever I could, but that ended up messing me up. Because a lot of the due dates for apush, like the due times, are 1 p.m., 12 p.m., which should not be when I wake up, but it is. Class calls. I only had class calls for one other class, and that was AP English, but those I had about 5 total. apush, it was like being in class again. We had almost 2-hour calls, and I was waking up 30 minutes before those calls, and we had work to do, and I wasn't doing it right because I was tired. Do not do that. Get the same amount of sleep that you would get if school were normal, because it's going to mess you up. Number 3 is take it seriously. It's really hard to focus from home. I know chances are you're doing school like in your bed, like I am. It's not a joke. It's school. The class is stressful, but if you're getting remote learning again, you're getting the chance to enter into this class with a much more easygoing version of it. Even if the workload is kind of the same, it's way better. And it's the beginning of the year. You probably won't have the chance to get any of the books, which is a weird thing to mention. It's kind of a blessing you won't have to walk home with them. But just you'll get the chance to take a college level class, like the light version, the diet version, diet apush. Please take advantage of that and don't mess it up. I was really stupid. I could have gotten amazing grades, and I was stupid. Don't do that. Take it seriously because it's a serious class, despite where you're taking it from. Number 4 is the exam. the exam. I didn't take the real exam. This year, everyone took online AP exams, apush included. It was just one part of what I believe was a 4-part exam. It was still one of the most stressful things ever, but I can't even begin to imagine how bad the original is. And they update it every year, so that's fun. I have no idea what you guys are going to take. But luckily, your entire life, for just about the whole duration of the class, is focused on the exam. Almost every single assignment prepares you for the test in some way. That's even your homework. Literally, I'm thinking about it, and yeah, everything. Almost everything prepares you for the exam, which is kind of amazing compared to some other classes I've taken, where they would tell you, oh, hey, we have a test at the end of the year. And then you take the test, nothing is on it. Even with the very shortened version of the test that I took, I knew everything that was on it was taught to me. Now, if I remembered, it was another part, but it was all taught to me. Regardless if you get the regular or the diet AP exam, good luck. You don't need it. 99% of my classmates declined to answer a survey because I did not ask them to. I wasn't going to talk to them for this. But I can tell you from firsthand experience that almost none of them regret being in the class. I say almost because there are some outliers. In summary, advanced placement, United States history. Oh boy. It's a terrible class for the first couple of months. Maybe not terrible. It's very, going into the class, you kind of don't know what to expect, or at least I didn't. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I knew it was stressful. I knew it was time consuming. I knew I needed to hand in my homework at 8 a.m. That was it. I knew almost nothing. But almost none of my classmates regret taking it. We all kind of hated it for the first couple of months. I tried to get out, but then they said I would just need to take it next year, and I figured I'd get it over with. I'm so happy I stood in the class. I would have really regretted leaving. I am really happy I stood in the class. Almost everyone I spoke to about the class remembers having an intense feeling of regret for joining. I remember a group of us just in September talking about how much we hated it, and almost no one wanted to go through with it. But it goes away. After the exam, it was so weird. I kind of wanted to cry. It was 9 months, almost 8 months of all this work and stress, this class that I thought I hated, and it was just kind of over. Not over, but over. I wasn't preparing for the exam anymore. I took it, it was done, and it was really, I was just proud to have done it. Almost all of us walked out feeling achievement and pride, which you too can obtain for the low, low price of 8 months of stress. But it's worth it. I would say it's really worth it, especially it's great college preparation. You'll learn how to write a mean citation. And overall, I think I learned how to manage work a lot better. All of the stress just washes away eventually. Eventually, you'll still be mad about the work, but you'll kind of expect it. It won't be like, oh man, I have 4 pages to write and be like, oh, yeah, I have 4 pages to write. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. And then after the exam, you have almost 2 months to just be in the class. You just kind of do things. You still have work, but it's not, you'll see. I won't give anything away. All I'll say is I did one of my final projects on a boy band song. And did I ever think I'd do that coming into an advanced placement class? No. But here I am, one boy band project later. So, thank you for listening to my apush survival guide. I hope you have a great time in the class. I don't even know if this is going out to any of you guys. If it does, good luck. You're going to do great. If you have the grades to get into the class, you will do fine. Just relax. Thank you.